Hi, welcome back to Triloquist. Thank you for stopping by. I'm your host Wayne. In this video I'm just going to give you a brief description and rundown of the great actor Bill Paxton, his career, and recommend some films that I think you should watch. Bill Paxton was actually christened William Paxton in May the 17th, 1955. Unfortunately, he passed away on February the 25th, 2017, aged 61. Bill Paxton's career started off in 1975, with his debut coming in the film called Crazy Mama. His character was John, and it was uncredited at the time. Crazy Mama is a 1975 film, and it's American action comedy directed by Jonathan Demme and produced by Julie Comron. It would be a further 6 years before Bill Paxton had another part to play, and that was the character Eddie in the film Butcher Baker Nightmare Maker. He also starred as Soldier 8 in Stripes. Bill Paxton in total has no less than 69 film credits, and these include director as well as actor, and 16 TV credits, so I won't keep you waiting any longer. Here are the first 7 films in chronological order that I think you should see. So I'm going to kick the list off in 1985, a full 10 years after Bill Paxton made his debut. In 1985, Bill Paxton had a part in Weird Science, which is a teenage comic science fiction film where a couple of social misfits, or nerds as they'd be called these days, are humiliated by the local peer group, and so they decide that instead of swooning over one of their friends' girlfriends, they try and make their own one. This eventuality leads them to create a character called Lisa, who is absolutely brilliant and intelligent, and she seems to have endless powers. This, as I say, is quite a funny film. It's probably dated a little bit by today's standards. Bill Paxton plays the part of Chet Wallace, who is Gary Wallace's older brother. He extorts money from his younger brother and is probably a little bit of a bully, but no more than older brothers are, and just generally is the bane in his younger brother's life. We jump now to 1994 and True Lies. True Lies is an action comedy, and it was written and directed by James Cameron. It also stars Arnold Schwarzenegger and Jamie Lee Curtis. In this, Bill Paxton plays a used car salesman who gets kind of embroiled in the life of Arnold Schwarzenegger and Jamie Lee Curtis, who turn out to be secret agents. Although Bill Paxton doesn't have a large part in this film, his impact is still noted on screen, and he plays the part exceptionally well. In 1995, Bill Paxton starred alongside Tom Hanks and Kevin Bacon in the true story of Apollo 13. This was directed by Ron Howard, and he wanted to create a truly accurate film and employed NASA's technical assistants in the astronauts and flight controller training for the actors. He obtained permission to film the scenes on board a reduced gravity aircraft, which I believe is also known as the Vomit Comet, for a realistic depiction of weightlessness experienced by the astronauts in space. Apollo 13 was nominated for 9 Academy Awards. Bill Paxton followed up the success of Apollo 13 in 1996 with the film Twister. Twister is a disaster film, and it's about scientists that follow the storms known as twisters in America, and I think they're cyclones in Australia. Twister received mixed critical reception for the film, but it was praised for the visual effects and sound design. It was also nominated for Best Visual Effects and Best Sound Mixing. In 1997, Bill Paxton had a starring role in the film Titanic. This also reunited him with James Cameron. Titanic was the most expensive film at the time, costing $200 million to make. It also launched the careers of Kate Winslet and Leonardo DiCaprio. The story of Titanic is told through one of the survivors, as Bill Paxton plays the part of Brooke Lovett, a treasure hunter seeking to make his wealth from the wreckage. We jump now to 2004 and the film Thunderbirds. In Thunderbirds, Bill Paxton plays the father figure, Jeff Tracy. who's in charge of international rescue. Thanks to the despicable behaviour of their arch enemy, the Hood, most of international rescue gets stuck in space, leaving the rescue operation to the youngest son. Although Bill Paxton's time on screen is limited, he does steal the show when he's on, playing the distraught father, trying to organise the rescue mission and to save his family. Interesting fact about this film is, although the original 60s TV show had permission from Rolls-Royce to use the emblem of Rolls-Royce on Lady Penelope's pink car, however, Rolls-Royce refused permission for this film, and therefore Ford took the mantle and supplied all vehicles for this film. In 2014, Bill Paxton joined the cast of American TV show Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. He played the part of John Garrett for 6 episodes. This showed how diverse he was as an actor, transferring his skills from the big screen to the small. John Garrett in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. starts off as one of the good guys, and we're led to believe that he is a member of S.H.I.E.L.D. However, in a plot twist and a change for Bill Paxton, he then becomes a secret Hydra agent and a bad guy. So we're down to the final 3, and I've listed these films in order of preference rather than chronological order. So my third favourite film that Bill Paxton stars in, or at least has a role in, is The Terminator. This came out in 1984, and I believe it was the first time that Bill Paxton worked with James Cameron. It stars Arnold Schwarzenegger as a T-800 Model 101, which is a cybernetic android designed as a human being but sent back in time to kill Sarah Connor. Sarah Connor is the mother of the future leader of mankind in a war waged by man and machine. Michael Biehn is also in this as Kyle Reese, and he is a human resistance fighter from the future sent back to protect Sarah. Linda Hamilton also plays the part of Sarah Connor and is the Terminator's target. This film also introduced Lance Henriksen as a police sergeant who questions Sarah. Interesting fact about Terminator is that Lance Henriksen was initially going to be cast as the Terminator. However, a decision was made that Arnold Schwarzenegger would make a better T-800 model, and therefore, instead of becoming the Terminator, Lance Henriksen got the part of a police sergeant who questions Sarah Connor. Number 2 on my list of favourite Bill Paxton films of all time is a bit controversial, as it is Predator 2, the 1997 direct sequel to the film Predator starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. Predator 2 is set in Los Angeles during a heatwave, and there is a drug war between Colombian and Jamaican drug gangs. Bill Paxton is a detective who's moved over to Los Angeles and has decided to try and clear up the city along with Danny Glover. Unfortunately, things don't work out too well for Bill Paxton's character, as he is killed on screen by the Predator. So what film do I think should be number 1 and considered Bill Paxton's best film of all time? I'll give you a couple of hints. It came out in 1986. It was a direct sequel to a 1979 horror film. It was written, produced and directed by James Cameron, and it also starred Sigourney Weaver. Yes, you've guessed it, the number 1 film that I think Bill Paxton made was Aliens. Aliens is set 57 years after the original Alien. Ripley's picked up by a salvage crew and they return her to Earth. Nobody in the company believes her story of the xenomorph and decide that she should just be demoted and offered rehabilitation. However, after the investigation and Ripley's stories being dismissed, the company, Weyland-Yutani, lose contact with the colony on LV-426. Ripley is convinced to return to the planet where it all began as a consultant only. She's joined by the US Colonial Marines, an elite task force sent to take care of any issues that the colonists may have. Bill Paxton plays Private Hudson and is a confident, charismatic soldier ready to join the fight, and is full of confidence that they can win no matter. However, after the introduction of the xenomorphs in Aliens, Bill Paxton's tone changes and he becomes very cautious and self-aware of how weak and vulnerable the whole colony and remaining soldiers are. Unfortunately for Bill Paxton, things don't end well for his character, as he is killed on screen by an alien. This makes Bill Paxton unique in the cinema world, as he is the only actor to have played characters that have been killed on screen by a Terminator, Predator and Alien. Thank you very much for watching my rundown of the top 10 films by Bill Paxton. If you've enjoyed yourself, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. If you haven't, you know what to do, but I am surprised you've made it this far. I'll just summarise by saying Bill Paxton is one of the few actors that has left an indelible mark on the movie industry. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.